Alright guys, Dr. Kuntz here, and today we're going to go over the 90-90 hip roll progression. So honestly, this is one of my favorite hip mobility drills that I've particularly done, and you'll see a couple progressions that I really like to go through. Now just a quick little backstory about me. I've had hip surgery, a really bad case of hip surgery when I was 23, and I had to find a way to loosen up my hips so I could get back to working out again. This hip mobility drill really played a nice role in helping me get back to doing the things I love and to loosening up. So I want you to have that as kind of a backdrop here. So let's go ahead and walk you through how do you do this. You're going to get into a 90-90 seated, or I should say side seated position. And for our entry-level beginners, we're going to allow you to reach forward with your hands. Although I do want to make a note, keep an eye on my heels. You're going to see that those are pretty much glued in to the ground. A lot of times amateurs, when they start to do this, A, they'll find out it's harder than they thought it would be, but B, their heels come off the ground and slide, and then they don't truly get that hip roll that we're looking for. So this is a really nice progression. Notice my palms are facing back behind me. So that does a lot. It actually puts your entire rib cage on stretch. A muscle called the quadratus lumborum is also put on stretch, and long story short, it doesn't allow you to cheat as well, because a lot of times we'll use what's called the lumbothoracic junction to try to create pseudo mobility that we really think we have coming from the hips, but in the reality it's actually probably coming from our lumbar spine. And then when you have the palms facing back behind you, that actually puts you into relative external rotation. So the lats, which can be limiting here as well, we want to put those on stretch to really get the most out of this exercise. Now, if you're ready for what I call the boss mode, the final progression, it's a really awesome exercise. You're going to go ahead and take this rod and place it right around your upper to middle back, kind of in that lumbar thoracic junction that I was talking about. And you're going to try to keep your elbows pointed straight down when you do this drill. You're going to substantially feel a difference when you try to go through this. In fact, you'll see for me, this is something I continue to have to really work on. It got a lot harder. You can see me kind of fall back there a little bit as I try to retrain myself and to grip into it to get through the motion. All right, so guys, try this one out. It is way harder. It's something I take pride in as I continue to try to work into, but you will absolutely feel a huge difference, especially if you go back to the first version we showed you after doing this. So take a few minutes, guys, go ahead and try this one out and tell us what you think. Thanks for tuning in.